Hi everyone, I hope you've had a good week. I emailed your parents at the beginning of this week to tell them about a video that I'd like to make, a 3R video. So what I'm asking you to do is just to film yourself or ask somebody else to film you just for a short amount of time doing something that you enjoy. So it could be dancing, it could be running, it could be reading, anything that you enjoy with no sound. And then at the end of the video, I would like you to just turn your head to the left as if you're kind of passing it on to the next person, okay? Now, I'm hoping that all of the videos can be sent to me in a portrait format. And you don't have to do it if you really don't want to, but once I have them all, we'll put them all together and hopefully we'll have a really lovely 3R video to keep and watch in the future. So, learning for next week. English lessons are all based on a video that we've actually seen before, and it's on a website called Literacy Shed, and it's called The Little Shoemaker, so you might remember doing that. But there are some different activities for you to do than what we've done before. So there's a lesson where you're going to have a think about how you could describe the little shoemaker and how you might describe his rival, the other shoemaker. There's a lesson where you're going to think of some dialogue between the two shoemakers. And then there's also a lesson where you're going to write your own ending to the story. Okay, so in maths next week, we are continuing looking at time. And the first lesson of the week is all about telling the time to the nearest minute. Okay, so for example, on my analog clock here, we need to know how many minutes past 4 it is, because it's not quite 10 past 4. The big hand isn't quite on the 10. So an easy way to do this is to start off by counting in fives. How many 5 minutes are there? So in this time, there is only one lot of 5, so 5. Then we need to count up in minutes from the 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So the time on this clock is 9 minutes past 4. And you can do that with the same method the other way. So if you've got minutes to the hour. So let me just, about this way. So again, I'm going to count in fives first of all, and then count on the single minutes. So I've got 5 minutes to, 10 minutes, 11, 12 minutes to the next hour being 4. So it's 12 minutes to 4. Later on in the week, we're going to be looking at how there are 2 different times, 2 of the same times in a day. So for example, there are 2 lots of 7 o'clock in one day. There's 7 o'clock in the morning, which we call AM, and then 7 o'clock in the evening, which we call PM. And on a digital clock, we can show that by writing AM and PM. But there is another way to write it, and it's called a 24-hour clock. And what that means is that when it gets to 12 o'clock, as in midday, so the middle of the day, we then, rather than going back to 1, we carry on counting up to 24. So for example, after 12 o'clock midday, 1 PM in the afternoon, we could say is 13. And 2 is 14, and so on and so on. So we just count on from 12. So we're going to be having a little look at that towards the end of the week. Okay, on to the foundation subjects now. So in geography, we're actually starting a new topic all about coasts. So this lesson is thinking about any of the coasts or seasides that you've visited, and focusing on UK coastlines, and you're going to use a map to try and find and label the seaside locations that you've been to. And then in D&T, we are carrying on looking at balanced meals, and we are asking you to create your own sandwich. So you're going to need to think about what's going to go into that sandwich to make it a balanced meal. So think about the different food groups, and then we're going to ask you to design it and make it. When you have made it, take a picture of it, send it to me, and perhaps you can give me some ideas on what sandwiches that I might want to have, because I am getting a little bit bored of eating the same thing. Moving on to science, you've got an investigation to look at how water travels through plants. And then there's also a PE lesson and a PSHE lesson, which focuses on listening to a really lovely book all about a refugee, because this week has actually been Refugee Week. So, good luck with your learning for this week. Let me know how it goes and email me if you have any questions. Bye-bye.